You mentioned David Poyle. He was a architect of the franchise here in Calgary we followed back to the early days in Atlanta, but more famous for his incredibly long and successful tenure with the Nashville Predators. He stepped aside. Barry Trotz is now the architect. What is Barry Trotz's demeanor, and what are the texts like he's getting these days? Another loss last night for the Preds.
Yeah, everybody's throwing him a life preserver, right? Every NHL general manager, hey, we have the perfect fit. We can help you out. It's going to cost one of your 3 first-round draft picks and one of your top prospects, but we've got the answer for you. I talked to Barry before Wednesday's game against Washington, and that was after he had done Nashville radio, where he dropped the R word, the rebuild word. Right. And, in fairness to Barry, it was misinterpreted. That's not what he meant. Like when you think traditional rebuild, you're thinking, okay, you're tearing it down, you're taking it to the wood, and you're drafting, developing, and years and years and years of pain and suffering. It's not what he meant. He meant maybe he has to investigate whether they need help kind of in the middle part of their lineup. So they bring in Brady Shea. He replaces McDonough. They bring in Stamkos, and they bring in John Marchessault. And his hope was that those 3 guys, given their experience, would be able to hold down the fort. They could lean on him, they being Andrew Burnett and the rest of the team, while some of the younger guys earned the experience. And maybe by the time you get to the playoffs, some of these younger guys are ready to take it up a notch. Well, the problem is they're probably not getting to the playoffs. Well, they're not the way they're playing right now. So when he said rebuild, what he meant was, I might have to dangle one of those first-round picks. It's got 2 seconds. They have a glut of good young prospects coming and good young NHL players. Maybe I've got to package something and make another bigger trade or a bigger move and get in some help. So we'll see how that plays out. It's still relatively early. He probably isn't going to be able to do that until closer to the midway point of the regular season, but that's what he meant when he used the rebuild word.
So what are they shopping for? Second line center? Is it the middle?
But yeah, that's in a perfect world, that's what they would add. Something with a little bit of creative punch there. But like who's given up a 2 center with any level of hockey smarts or creativity? Nobody, not at this point. And that's the frustration. Like there's no way that Barry Trotz and Andrew Burnett expected that they would be in the mud the way that they are right now. They just didn't. And Rhett, you made the point a couple of weeks ago. You thought that he pulled the Louisville off his shoulder way too early. Swung for the fence with Stamkos and Marchessault, and the group isn't ready. And you're 100% right. And now the general manager can see that. Unfortunately, he's the guy who did it, and everybody's calling for Andrew Burnett. Well, that's grossly unfair.
Don't do that.
Yeah. No. I mean, Andrew Burnett was a hell of a coach we're talking to him in the coach of the year category, right? And you look at the year Ryan O'Reilly had last year. Terrific. This year, he called himself out the other night and said he doesn't think he's played a worse game in terms of his inability to generate anything. Well, there's a guy that's been there, done that. He's seen it all at the NHL level. So I believe, based on the conversation I had with Barry, that he's going to try and bring in some help before he does any dismantling, coaching or otherwise.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.